Did you know that before Melania Trump there were Ivana and Marla Maples? And the reason behind Donald Trump's split from beauty queen Marla Maples is nothing short of jaw-dropping. Trump's marriage to Marla was filled with so much controversy that even today the details still shock people. When the couple separated, the rumors were wild, but now, after 2 decades, Marla has finally confirmed what many suspected all along. So, what really happened between them? And why did their marriage last only 6 years? Keep watching to find out. The scandalous beginning. Marla Maples didn't just enter Trump's life, she became his mistress while he was still married to his first wife, Ivana Trump. A Georgia-born actress, model, and TV personality, Marla's relationship with Trump began in the late 1980s, and it was anything but low-key. Their affair wasn't just controversial because Trump was married, it was the fact that it played out so publicly, making headlines and stirring up drama. The couple even broke up once before eventually getting back together, leading to Trump's highly publicized divorce from Ivana in 1990. One of the most shocking moments came on February 16, 1990, when a New York Post headline claimed that Marla had bragged to her friends about how Trump was the best lover she'd ever had. The media frenzy was insane. It dominated the front pages for weeks, despite major global events like Nelson Mandela's release from prison happening at the same time. But that wasn't even the most dramatic moment. In December 1989, Ivana and Marla had a face-to-face confrontation in Aspen, Colorado, during a Trump family ski trip. Unbeknownst to Ivana, Trump had secretly flown Marla to Aspen as well. When the two women crossed paths, Marla reportedly walked up to Ivana and said, "I'm Marla and I love your husband." "Do you?" Ivana, taken aback, shot back, "Get lost. I love my husband." Years later, in her book Raising Trump, Ivana admitted that this moment sealed her realization that her marriage was over. And just 2 months later, in February 1990, Trump officially filed for divorce. A marriage doomed from the start. You might think that after Ivana was out of the picture, Trump and Marla would settle into a fairy tale romance, but that wasn't the case. The two tied the knot in December 1993 at a lavish ceremony at the Plaza Hotel in New York with over 1,000 guests, including celebrities and top business figures. But behind the glamorous facade, cracks were already showing. Marla later revealed that their marriage struggled with deeper issues beyond their control. However, evidence suggests that both she and Trump played roles in its downfall. People were shocked that Trump even married Marla, especially after his messy, high-profile divorce from Ivana. That divorce had been a media sensation. New York. Newspapers covered it on their front pages for 11 days straight, and gossip columns talked about it for months. Ultimately, Ivana walked away with a hefty settlement, $14 million, a 45-room Connecticut mansion, an apartment in Trump Plaza, and the right to stay at Mar-a-Lago for 1 month a year. But there was a catch. Ivana had to sign a non-disclosure agreement, meaning she could never speak publicly about their marriage without Trump's permission. With so much drama leading up to Trump's second marriage, it's no surprise that it didn't last. But what really led to their split? Marla has finally broken her silence, and the truth is even more shocking than we imagined. When Trump decided to settle down with Marla, he wasn't about to make the same financial mistake twice. So before they even walked down the aisle, he had her sign an ironclad prenuptial agreement. Years later, when the details of that contract leaked, people were stunned. According to reports, Trump agreed to pay Marla just $1 million if they divorced within 5 years, plus another $1 million to buy a house. Now that might seem like a lot, but compared to Ivana's $25 million divorce settlement, it was practically pocket change. The prenup drama things got even more interesting when, just months after their Grand Plaza Hotel wedding, Marla hinted to Vanity Fair that she may have been pressured into signing the prenup. She called it the big battle all along and claimed she only signed it because she believed they would revisit the terms later. But they never did. The media went into a frenzy and legal experts chimed in. One celebrity divorce attorney told People magazine, "I can't think of greater coercion than a woman being pregnant and a man saying, 'I won't marry you unless you sign.' What's she supposed to do? If he handed her a laundry ticket, she'd probably sign it." Can you imagine how Marla must have felt? The whole arrangement made it painfully obvious that Trump was more worried about protecting his fortune than building a marriage, based on trust. And it didn't stop there. The prenup even detailed that Trump would pay child support for their daughter, Tiffany, only until she turned 21, but that support would end early if she got a full-time job, joined the military, or even the Peace Corps, a marriage built on obligation. Here's where things get even more complicated. Do you know that Tiffany's birth was one of the biggest reasons Trump decided to marry Marla in the first place? Shortly after Marla gave birth to Tiffany, Trump finally proposed. Marla claimed that the 1993 Long Island Railroad tragedy made him rethink his life and priorities, leading him to pop the question. Sounds romantic, right? But the events leading up to it were far from a fairy tale. When Trump first found out that Marla was pregnant, his reaction wasn't exactly what you'd expect from an excited father-to-be. His first words, "Excuse me, what happened?" During an interview on the Howard Stern show, Trump recalled his reaction, saying, "I'm glad it happened. I have a great little daughter, Tiffany, but, at the time it was like, 'Excuse me, what happened? I didn't know about this.' And then I said, 'Well, what are we going to do about this?'" Marla, taken aback, responded, "Are you serious? It's the most beautiful day of our lives." To which Trump finally replied with an unenthusiastic, "Oh, great." Not exactly the heartwarming moment Marla was hoping for. It was clear that at that time, Trump wasn't exactly eager for fatherhood or marriage. The real reason their marriage fell apart. While the prenup and Tiffany's birth played major roles in their rocky relationship, Marla later revealed that the true reason their marriage ended was something much deeper. She and Trump were fundamentally different people, and at some point, their values just stopped aligning. With a 17-year age gap and completely different upbringings, it was almost inevitable. Trump grew up in Queens, New York, in a wealthy and highly competitive family. His father, Fred Trump, was a powerful real estate developer, and from a young age, Donald was groomed to chase success, wealth, and power. Marla, on the other hand, came from a small, religious town in Georgia and was raised with values centered on faith, kindness, and community. Her world was built on emotional connection, while Trump's was all about business, winning, and status. In the end, these differences weren't just surface level, they became the reason their relationship crumbled. Marla once said, "Donald and I came from two completely different worlds. I wanted a partner who could truly see me and support me emotionally." But Donald was often preoccupied with his empire, his image, and his ambitions. It became clear that we were living parallel lives, not a shared one. And with that, the fairy tale was over. Trump's primary focus at the time was his business empire, and his drive for public success often left little room for anything else. His ambitions took center stage, overshadowing the space needed for compromise and shared dreams in his marriage to Marla. Having already navigated marriage and fatherhood with Ivana, Trump's priorities were clear. His work came first. This left Marla feeling isolated and frustrated, often struggling to connect with her husband emotionally. After years of trying to make things work, Marla realized that the two of them were living parallel lives, not a shared one. She openly admitted in interviews that their relationship lacked the connection that would have brought out the best in each other. When they finally separated in 1997, with the divorce finalized 2 years later, she reflected on the growing rift. Marla said, It could get a little bit combative, as you can imagine, because I came in with strong family values and a focus on spiritual growth, always wanting to be the best I could be, while he came with a mindset geared toward making money and achieving success. Despite these differences, Marla had fallen for Trump's vulnerability. It was something she sensed deeply, which created an immediate connection between them, almost as though they were family. But as the years passed, she began to realize that no matter how hard she tried, she couldn't change him. She said, "Girls in their 20s always think they can change the man they're with. I was that way, but over time, I learned to stand up for what I believe in and be stronger about expressing my needs." But even those value differences weren't the only factors that led to their split. There was a shocking event that reportedly played a part in their decision to separate, an incident that stirred up plenty of rumors and controversies. The controversial incident. In 1996, one of the most talked about rumors during their marriage involved an alleged encounter between Marla and one of Trump's bodyguards. The story goes like this. One night at Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida, a police officer on duty discovered Marla with a bodyguard named Spencer Wagner on a deserted beach at 4 a.m. According to the police report, Wagner first claimed he was alone, but when Marla appeared from the shadows, she revealed her identity as Trump's wife. Naturally, when the story hit the media, it caused Marla a great deal of embarrassment. Newspapers ran with it, and TV shows made it the top story. Both Marla and Trump denied any romantic involvement, with Marla explaining that she had simply been taking a bathroom break at the time. Wagner backed her up, stating there was no romance involved and that it was all a misunderstanding. But then things took a strange turn. 4 months later, Trump fired Wagner, leaving people to wonder, why? Was Wagner really innocent, as he had originally claimed? To everyone's surprise, Wagner's story changed after his firing. In an exclusive interview with a tabloid, Wagner admitted that he and Marla had, in fact, been intimate on the beach that night. He even described it as passion boiling over and confessed, "We made love." However, Wagner's ex-wife, Mary Miller, claimed that Wagner had always denied any affair with Marla. She explained that he had told her Marla was out of control, which supposedly led to their closeness. Wagner's changing story only deepened the confusion, leaving many wondering about the true nature of his relationship with Marla and how much the incident might have influenced the unraveling of her marriage to Trump. Marla's ex-husband, Wagner, revealed even more about her behavior during their time together. According to him, Marla was incredibly aggressive, especially when it came to partying. Whenever she visited Trump's Florida estate, she'd throw wild parties, which only added fuel to the growing tension. Sadly, the whole scandal took a serious toll on Wagner's life. After being fired by Trump, he struggled to find work, which left him deeply hurt. Wagner's ex-wife, Mary Miller, shared that the negative press and lack of employment opportunities crushed him emotionally. Tragically, on January 1st, 2012, Wagner passed away from a substance overdose. Miller reflected on his character, saying, "He's just not that kind of guy, he's not sleazy, and because of all this, he never really recovered from the scandal." The drama didn't stop there. The controversy surrounding the affair, along with Trump's anger over the media frenzy, ultimately contributed to the final breakdown of Trump and Marla's marriage. In 1997, they officially separated, and by 1999, their divorce was finalized. Despite Marla's public denials, the publicity of the affair caused a massive strain on their relationship. And let's not forget, the trust issues between them only deepened after their rocky start. Their relationship began under a cloud of betrayal when Trump was still married to Ivana, which made the media and the public question whether either of them could ever truly be faithful. Trump's playboy reputation and his tendency to socialize with other women only added to the trust issues, and the constant rumors of extramarital affairs became exhausting for both of them. After the divorce, Marla largely stepped out of the spotlight to focus on raising their daughter, Tiffany. She also pursued various projects including acting, hosting TV shows, and promoting wellness and spirituality. Marla has often spoken about how her relationship with Tiffany is the most important part of her life. Meanwhile, Trump continued to expand his business empire and brand. In 2005, he married Melania Trump, a Slovenian model, and they went on to have a son, Baron. When you look at everything that led to their divorce, infidelity rumors, public scrutiny, and fundamentally different priorities, it's clear why Marla and Trump's marriage came to an end. What do you think was the biggest reason for the split between Marla Maples and Donald Trump? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our next video for more updates.